بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أوصيكم وإياي أولا بتقوى الله فقد فاز المتقون كما قال الله تعالى في القرآن الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون وبعد Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. All praise due to Allah Rabbul Alamin for His guidance. And the guidance of Allah is an ongoing guidance. Whoever tries to follow the guidance of Allah, not only now, but you keep on following, then the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there for all of us. Brothers and sisters, we have been blessed by Allah Rabbul Alamin because of what Allah has provided for all of us. The technology, all what we are having today is a ni'mah. Even we are not able to attend classes, but we have an ongoing classes, ongoing reminder that is to guide us, to remind us, keep on having taqwa in Allah. Why taqwa? Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam never miss to recite this ayah in the beginning of his reminder. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu taqullaha haqqa tuqatih wa la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. Is to remind us. The reminder in Islam never give up. It's like all the Prophet was sent to keep on reminding his people. It started from the family, of course. Qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. Save your soul and your immediate family. It started from there. It's an ongoing reminding. You keep on reminding people as long as you are still alive. And pray, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our deeds. But most of us today give up very, very fast. I have reminded, I have remind him, I have remind her. Khalas. Brothers and sisters, ittaqillah. And I would like to call upon all of you not to forget the morning invocation. There's so many invocations for us to recite. But the one that I always remind each other something that is simple, something easy for us to remember. We start from something that is easy, something that is light, not difficult, because that is what Islam wants us to start with. That's what the Prophet said, yassiru wa la tu'assiru. Start with something easy and don't make it difficult. Because when you start with something that is difficult, heavy, lengthy, then you demoralize the student of knowledge. You may even demoralize the children. They say, it's too much, too heavy for me. I can't do it. You start from something very light. I pray that all of you still remember the morning invocation. Of course, when you want to make any invocation, you start with Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, praising Allah. That is the adab. And then make salawat upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidun Majid. Then you make dua, Allahumma bika asbahna wa bika amsayna wa bika nahya wa bika namut wa ilayka nushur. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La yadurru ma'a ismi syai'un fil ardi wa la fis sama'i wa huwas sami'ul alim. Raditu billahi rabba wa bil islami dina wa bi Muhammadin nabiyya Allahumma zidni ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ya muqallibal qulub, tsabbit qalbi ala dinik wa ala ta'atik. Allahumma adkhilna jannatak. Allahumma adkhilna jannatak. Allahumma adkhilna jannatak wa ajirna minan nar wa ajirna minan nar wa ajirna minan nar. Allahumma akhtim lana bil husnil khatimah wa la tahtim alaina بالسوء القاتمة. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله بالعالمين. Brothers and sisters, we have been referring to the book Life in Barzakh. It's just to keep on reminding ourselves that we have to go through that life. The life that we are not there yet, but we are going through that life. And that's why Islam is always here to remind us to prepare ourselves. Life is about preparation. We all are aware of how we start our life. We keep on preparing ourselves to be better and better and better. When you are alone, you prepare yourself to have a company, to have a family. When you have a family, you are married, you prepare to have children. When you have children, you prepare also to have grandchildren, and life move on. And what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want us to do? Allah always remind us, don't forget to seek the guidance of Allah. And we are seeking every single day, Allahumma dina ila siratul mustaqim. Ihdina siratul mustaqim. We have been asking, Alhamdulillah. I believe that as a Muslim, whether you are good or bad, new or old Muslim, young, old, new, born Muslim, we learn this Surah Al-Fatiha because there is the opening chapter of the Quran. You cannot pray without this chapter. And this chapter, you have this dua, Ihdina siratul mustaqim. We've been asking, Alhamdulillah, it's a good beginning. But what went wrong? Why we are asking and asking day in, day out, in Ramadan, outside Ramadan, now in Shawwal, now we keep on asking. And what is happening to all of us? We seem to be like people who are not guided, confused. How can we become so confused? When we ask for guidance, guidance was revealed to us. The Quran is the final reference for us. And our Prophet is the final messenger. Who knows about Islam more than him? Who understands Islam better than the companions? We all are aware about this. But still, I just don't understand whether we are ignorant. No, because we have been learning. We have been following on YouTube and all this online program. You cannot say you are ignorant. You cannot say you don't know because you are so exposed to the technology today. Then what really happened? It is just our arrogant qibr. What is qibr? Batara haq. You know the truth is that. Quran said this, the Prophet said it. I don't care. I still want to follow my way. Then you ask Allah, Ihdina siratul mustaqim again. You never say to Allah, I want to follow my way. Or no, I am asking Allah, show me the right way, the right path. We have been asking Allah. Something is very wrong with our attitude, our character. And that's why you see, we keep on having problem and problem. We should be able to solve a lot of problems. In the beginning of Islam, you can see the problem that the Ummah is facing, but Alhamdulillah, in the end, the Prophet ﷺ have shown us to solve all the problem by just go back to the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet. But in tanazaqtum fi shay'in faruddu ila Allah wa rasul. In kuntum tu'minuna billahi wa yawmil akhir. If you believe in Allah and you believe in the day of judgment, Allah is now telling us, if you still don't refer back to Allah as a guidance to get the reference from Allah's book and the Prophet, then that shows that you are not yet a true believer. And I don't think we believe in Akhirah. We say, yeah, I believe in Akhirah. I don't know whether we are believing in the Barzakh or not. We don't have to believe anything about the unseen until there is proof. When there is proof, Allah said, Allazina yu'minuna bil ghayb. One of the foundation of Iman is you must believe in the unseen. But with condition. It must be in the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet. If not been mentioned, you don't have to believe all the nonsense. But let us remind ourselves with one ayat. In Surah An-Nisa verses 115, Allah said, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وما يشاقق الرسول من بعد ما تبين له الهدى ويتبع غير سبيل المؤمنين نوليه ما تولى ونصليه جهنم وساءت مصيرا. Allah is warning all of us, telling all, talking to you and talking to me. And he said, whoever opposes the teaching of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, the messenger of Allah's teaching, after guidance has become clear to him. What is guidance? The ayah, the Quran, the evidence is there. Qala Allah wa qala Rasulullah is clear. There's no reason for you to say, oh, I don't know. Then you ask. If anybody tell you, if you want good ending, you do this, do that, is there a dalil? If there is, alhamdulillah. If not, just stop there. Just stop there. The religion don't belong to an imam. Don't belong to you or me that I can decide anything for you. No. This religion belongs to Allah. Allah have made it very clear. Al-yawma akmaltu lakum dinakum. I have completed this religion for you. I have perfected it for you. So everything is there. You just have to be a good follower. Be humble. When are we going to change, brothers and sisters? Not say you are not learning, you are not listening from scholars. The scholar have been keep on reminding us with the book of Allah. A good scholar is a person who reminds you with the reminder of Allah Rabbul Alameen and the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Not just do this, do that, you get this, you get that. Where is the dalil? Ask them. I feel so weird, you know. Everything is written. Everything is there. Clear sign is there. But still, we choose not to follow. And that's why Allah said, after guidance has become clear to him, min ba'di ma tabayyana lahul huda wa yattabi ghayra sabilil mu'minin, and follows other than the path of the believer. That means we choose not to follow the path of the righteous people. We choose not to follow. We just want to follow our whim, our feeling. Then what Allah said now, we will give him what he chooses. If that is what you want, brother and sister, Allah will leave it. He will leave us. Go. And at the end of the day, we all know where we are heading. Allah don't like us to have good a bad ending. He always wants us to have a good ending. That's why he keep on reminding us. He sent a prophet after a prophet, messenger after messenger, just to remind us. There's a lot of good scholars around us who remind us day in, day out, follow the Quran, follow the Sunnah. Leaders is also calling us to follow the Quran and Sunnah. Now it's up to us to make a choice now. وَهَدَيْنَهُ النَّجْدَيْنِ. I show you two ways. Then you choose. This is what we always say. It's very important to have this tasfiyah program and tarbiyah. Tasfiyah is the purification of your iman, your faith. We have problem. If you said, I have faith in Allah, I have faith in the Prophet, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, then what Allah say, what the Prophet say, always comes first. That is our shahada. Even when you want to perform your prayer, why you pray? Because Allah says so. Aqimu salah. How you perform your prayer? Why you stand? Why you make ruku', iktidal? Why you recite Fatiha? Why you make 2 raka'at Fajr, 4 raka'at Zuhur, and so on? Why? Because the Prophet was there to show us. Muhammad Rasulullah. Fasting. Allah wants us to fast from the beginning to the end. What must you do while you are fasting? The Prophet is here to show you the way. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. You want to perform zakat for the sake of Allah. How to perform it? The Prophet is here to show you. Everything is there. The guidance is there. Just La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. You want to go to Umrah, Hajj, for the sake of Allah. Why you go? Because Allah said you have to go. You owe Him this journey once in your lifetime. How to perform Muhammad Rasulullah. Khudhu anni manasikakum khalas. Simple. And Allah knows that we like to follow. Allah knows that we all like to follow somebody. So now Allah is telling us, He is guiding us again. Who should we follow? Because His Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, number one. Then in Surah At-Tawbah verse 100, Allah said, وَالسَّابِقُونَ الْأَوَّلُونَ مِنَ الْمُحَاجِرِينَ وَالْأَنصَارِ وَالَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ وَرَضُوا عَنْهُ. Allahu Akbar. عَدَّ لَهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي تَحْتَهَا الْأَنْهَارُ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أَبَدًا ذَلِكَ الْفَوْزُ الْعَظِيمُ. Surah Tawbah verse 100. Surah Tawbah is Surah 9. The first to embrace Islam among the Muhajirin, Allah make it very clear so we don't misinterpret that. The first to embrace Islam is not we here, Malaysian. It's not who? It's not European. It's not African. The first who embrace Islam are the Muhajirin. Who are the Muhajirin? The people of Makkah. Allah is telling us now. Then follow up with the second group of people. Al-Ansar. In the form of groups. Ansar. The people of Medina. Allahu Akbar. Now Allah is guiding us, brother and sister. If you want to follow, it's good. To be a good follower. But who should we follow? We should follow Sabikun Awwalun, the Muhajirin and the Ansar. And that's why Allah said, وَالَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ. And also those who follow them. That is why we are, until today, is following that footstep. From the Prophet to the companion, the first group of Muslims, the people of Makkah, Abu Bakr, Omar, Osman, Ali, all are from Makkah. And then the people of Medina, they are all Sahabi. Then we follow the Tabi'in, and then we follow Tabi'in. We follow great scholars who follow this way. Whoever follow that way, the same way, that's what we are following. But people are confused until today. Talking about who are you, what period you were born. This is another childish approach, misleading the public, make people get confused. Na'udzubillah. Now, brothers and sisters, before we continue with the book, let me remind all of us the importance of having the right understanding about Islam. And no one can say they have the right understanding without going back to the Quran and the Sunnah. No one. You can say anything you like, but when there's no evidence in the Quran and Sunnah, you cannot be right. That is how secure Islam is. Allahu Akbar. The last class we talked about in life in Barzakh, about the good deeds that we can leave behind, that will also give us good traces. We know the importance of the upbringing of our loved one, our children. Who don't love children? Anytime when our children don't feel well, immediately, brother and sister, we will send them to the clinic to have a checkup. Why does one the checkup? To make sure that they are okay. When they have some fever, flu, cough, immediately to show our love and our care towards our loved one. That is our fitrah. Those who don't care about the children, you know what kind of person he is. And most of the time, the mother feeling is so sacred, so holy, so pure, because the baby came out from you. Of course, you will feel all the pain for 7 to 9 months. Of course, your feeling is very, very different. You are prepared to go through all the pain and suffering, but you are not prepared to see your children, your baby suffer. There is a mother's feeling. Father is different because they don't experience giving birth. They don't understand. That's why the Prophet said, the best men are the men who are best to the wife. Khairukum khairukum li ahli wa ana khairu li ahli. Now, brothers and sisters, in the Quran, Allah has said, Qu anfusakum, or you who believe, save yourself. Wa ahlikum, and your family. You give the best to your baby from young. Even until today, if you are there, and your baby, your children's grown-up baby is still, your big baby is still there, when you see that they are not well, immediately you want them to go and see a doctor. Why you do that, brother? Because you love them. You want to see them healthy, physically healthy. But how about mentally and spiritually? Do you bother about their mental needs and their spiritual needs? Do you remind them to attend religious class, to read a religious book, to ask religious scholar if they get confused? How can you know that they are confused? Oh, my child is okay. How can you know your child is okay? If your child is not praying, is it okay? If your daughter is grown up, do not wear hijab, is that okay? If they are doing the smoking hijabs, is that okay? Or the hashish and all, is that okay? You know that's not okay. So what do? You leave everything to them. Give them time. No, they are still young. Oh, that's how. Then why don't you treat them the same when they are not well? Give them time. Don't waste your time to send them to the clinic. You act so fast when it comes to physical needs, but you are so slow when it comes to the mental needs. And when the mental needs is not being catered, there's nothing to talk about spiritual. Something is very wrong with us. We have the wrong value about life, brother and sister. We know that we are going to die. Normally, we will die first, our children then will follow us. Normally, the normal case. But again, no one knows. Sometimes our children will die before us. And what did the Prophet say? We have shared with you last week that the Prophet have reminded us, إِذَا مَاتَ إِبْنُ آدَمْ إِنْقَطَعَ عَمَلُهُ إِلَّا بِثَلَاثَةٍ. When we die, everything is cut off, stop, except three things that will benefit you. Sadaqatin jariyah. Yeah. A sadaqah, something that you leave behind that is being utilized. Even it's not being utilized now, that means sooner or later people will utilize it for the right cause, for a good cause. Second, knowledge that you pass down to your children, to your loved one. You teach them how to pray. You teach them how to recite the Quran. You send them to a right scholar to be guided. When they have confusion, immediately you send them. Like how they are not well, you send them to a doctor for treatment. When you feel that they are confused, they are missing their prayer, or they are not going to cover their hour, immediately you must send them to see a scholar who can help them, who can help them to overcome the confusion that they are having. You don't just, it's okay, give them time. No, there's no time to waste, brother and sister. This is what happened to us. By giving excuse, time. What is happening to us? Until they turn astray, until they say, okay, mommy, daddy, enough. I'm big enough. Don't tell me to do this, don't tell me to do that. Class. Then we start to cry. We know that prevention is better than cure. But you see, our value is very, very, I would say very, very strained. We have the wrong value. We care about their life here. We don't care about their future. What kind of family are we? How can you say you love your children? I don't think you love them, brother and sister. You just said that you love them. You are prepared to sacrifice everything for them physically, but not mentally and spiritually. So it's time for us to take this thing serious. This is a good start. We just end Ramadan. We are in Shawwal. When they have some, you can see their reaction. Confusion about deen. They are not consistent in the prayer, and immediately you must bring them to see a scholar. You have failed them. And spiritually, you know, how many of us, brother and sister, I just give an example, how many of us remind their children about dua after wudu? How many of us check with your children, do you memorize the dua after azan? I just want to start from there, something very basic. Because when you want to pray, you want to take wudu, there is a short dua. How many of us have done a favor for our children? Guide them, because there's a lot of blessing. No, the Prophet said, whoever recite this dua, if something happened at that time, if they will pass away, 8 gates of paradise open for them to welcome them. Don't you want your children to go to paradise? But this simple dua, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh, we don't even remind them. And we say we love them so much. I don't know what to say, brother and sister. And the last one, waladun salih yad'u lahu, righteous children. Righteous children play a very important role, yeah, for our future. Now let us go back to page 209. Charitable deeds from the deceased child or children. A person's child is from his own earning. It is from us. You know, we have spent, we have invested so much. We have gone through all the pain and suffering day in, day out for our children because we love them. And that's why the earning of a person's offspring, unlike his own, is your own investment. Aisha radiallahu anha, the mother of the believers, reported that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Inna atyaba ma akala rajul min kasbih, wa inna waladahu min kasbih." Allahu Akbar. Indeed, the best that a person eats is that which he earned, and his child is from his earning. Allahu Akbar. Of course, anything that you want, if you work hard for it, yeah, you don't just go and back here and back there. You work for it. That is the best earning, because you work for it. And your children is from your earning. It is your effort. Yeah, you give them the best education. You send them to school so early age. You know, our time, we only know what is school when we reach age 7. We don't have kindergarten. Yeah. We don't have all these other privileges like today, child care center and so on. Everything is at home. When you are 7 years old, then you only know what is school. Before that, there's no schooling. It's just playtime. Allahu Akbar. Playtime. Allahu Akbar. That's why Allah said, "Innamal hayat dunya la'ibun." Lives begin with play. But today you see, you send your school, you send your children to school from year 3 sometimes. So early. Yeah. Allahu Akbar. This is just a reminder. Then as they grow, of course, you have to invest more, and that's why it's your earning. So parents normally rear their child and train him to earn his sustenance and do righteous deeds, of course. We want to give them the best education so that they will get the best job, have the best salary, yeah, become the best in the office, best among the friends, best among the workers, best among the students. We all want the best for our children. Not only for the sake of going to school, we want them to pass. We want them to 8 A's. If they have 10 A's, we want all A for dunya. But how about the akhlaq? Do we monitor, their adab, their akhlaq, their moral, value? Do we want all the A's in their ibadah, their spiritual needs? We don't care about that. And that's why sometimes the upbringing of children, they become people of all the A's in dunya, but zero in akhirah. They don't believe in Allah. They don't worship Allah. They are so arrogant, so boastful. They are so selfish. Why? We fail because we never bother about their akhlaq. Therefore, the child's future earnings are initiated by the parents. Of course, we know that. What do you want from the child? You decide, brother and sister. If I want to have righteous children, I must be righteous. If I want my children to have the right adab, I must show good example. If I want the children to pray, to be connected to Allah, I must be connected to Allah first. It's not as difficult. It conflict. You want them to have good connection, but you yourself are not connected to Allah. You want your children to speak the truth, but you lie in front of them. You don't like your children to gossip bad about others, but we are showing bad example. You like to gossip and backbite one another. And then you want your children to be good. It's not impossible with the will of Allah. But normally, if we show them that example, and all the bad thing is so easy to imitate for the children to follow. Bad thing is always easy to follow. Good thing, everybody give excuses. That's why when you want to call them to cover themselves, oh, you give excuse. Can you imagine? We as parents should be very firm in this, but we give excuses. When the children was late, waking up late to go to school, we will force them to wake up and make sure they go to school. When it comes to spiritual matter, oh, pity them, they are so tired, let them sleep and miss their Fajr prayer. That's how we show our love to our children. We have failed them. We are very irresponsible parents. We don't care about their future. We just care about their dunya. And that is why we all are having a lot of problems today. I don't blame the children because the children, fitra, they just follow. If you show them good example, you have been coaching them, you have been bringing them to a good environment, to a religious class that's based on Quran and Sunnah, of course then their upbringing will be guided by Quran and Sunnah. But if you bring them to just any place, they get confused. Later on, they will abandon the religion. They say, this religion is non-practical, non-logical. I don't believe in it. Because we are not careful. When you want to go when you want to send your children to the kindergarten, the preschool, you choose the best school. You don't just choose any school. And when you want to send them for the religious class, why not you be careful? Whether the teacher, the scholar is guiding you and your children with the guidance of Allah, the Quran, and the Sunnah of the Prophet. This is very important. If you have done your best, brothers and sisters, in the future they turn out to be different, alhamdulillah, you have done your best. But majority of the parents today, we always give them excuses that is not acceptable. Later on, slowly, what slowly? When they are not well, you can say it slowly. No, immediately when you send them to clinic. Now. You abandon your job, you abandon your food to send them to the clinic. Why? You want them to be healthy. How about their mental health, their spiritual, their health? Because we initiate this, which make them deserve a share in them. That's why whatever they are doing in the future, if you have made them righteous children, and then after we die, they keep on doing all the righteous deed, we will get the share. Allahu Akbar. Allah is so kind. Keep on giving us all our reward. Even we are no more here because we have invest on them. It's our investment. This is especially true and important if the child's earning are righteous deed. And this is important. What are we to be proud when we don't have righteous children? Oh, he's a rich man, but kufr, arrogant, disobedient to Allah. But money, I have money. And you know what he's going to make use of the money? To commit more sins, to support all the bad activities, and you are proud with that. I don't know how you feel, brother and sister. To us as a believer, what is important is the akhirah. Dunya, if they work hard, they'll get it. But when you give them the right adab, the right akhlaq, you will see that you will never fail them. Wherever they go with the children, they'll be loved by the people around them because they have good conduct. Yeah? They have good manners, yeah? Discipline, committed in what they do. Not the least that our children can do for us is their supplication. Abi Hurairah radiallahu anhu reported that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Inna rajul la tarfa'u darajatuhu fil jannah, fayaqulu anna li haza, fayaqal bi istighfari waladik lak, bi istighfari waladik lak." Hadith from Ibn Majah, Ahmad, and others. The Prophet said, indeed a person's status will be raised in Jannah. Our status will differ from one to another. But then the Prophet said, a person's status will be raised in Jannah. And he will ask, who will ask? We will ask in the day of judgment. How did I earn this? How can my status be raised up? How did I earn this? He will be told, this is because your child sought forgiveness for you. Your child is asking Allah to forgive your sin. Brother and sister, what kind of children will pray for us? You know, even when the children is alive today, you give them the best. You give them, I mean, when they pray, how many children pray for their parents? I also don't know. But we always pray for them. I believe that. Yeah. Every time we pray, oh Allah, protect my children, safeguard their iman, give them health, make them happy, healthy, day in, day out. When we make prayer, normally as parents or grandparents, we never forget our children and grandchildren. But let us do a little homework. When you have time to talk to your children and grandchildren, ask them, do you pray for grandpapa, grandmama? Do you pray for your dad and mom? Just ask them. Maybe they have been praying, alhamdulillah. Maybe they overlook. They forget about us. We don't forget our children, but children tend to forget us because they remember their friend more than us. They think their friend is the one who have give them everything. They're just a friend, good in chatting. And most of the time, when you have problem, your friend is not there for you anymore. But your parent is still there for you. You can ask them. If they forget, it's your time for you to remind them. Their prayer is important. When the children are righteous, I believe, brother and sister, good children remember their parent. But if you want your children to remember you, you must show your care, your love to them. Your passion, the way you treat them with respect, with love, with mercy, with kindness. Don't be rough to your children. Don't humiliate and show disrespect to them. They also need certain respect. Don't be hard on them. Don't keep on punishing them if they are wrong. Advise them, remind them, engage in them, explain to them. Sometimes children know they like to show off what they have learned, what they have picked up from here and there. Just have patience, let them show you what they have, what they can. And anything that is wrong, you quickly remind them, this is wrong, this is dangerous, you should do this, you should do that. Guide them. Don't push them. Don't hit them. Because when you do this to them, brother and sister, do you think they will pray for you? Maybe. They will pray for your departure. Because they don't like you. So if you like your children to pray for you, you must love them more. Love them in the right manner. Remind them. When they want to eat, they drink, have we looked into their manners of eating and drinking? Do they waste? Don't let them waste, because there is again Islamic principle. There is the thing that make the shaitan love them so much, because they waste their food and their drink. Do they eat and drink with their right hand? Is that important? I don't know, brother and sister. You got to ask yourself. If the Prophet said, don't eat, don't drink with your left hand, so drinking with your right hand and eating with right is an ibadah. That is how you train your children to be righteous. This is important. But most of us, through my humble experience, we don't care about this anymore. To us, these are small matters. Even the small thing, you don't even pay attention. How can you look into the bigger thing, brother and sister? You are just lying to yourself. This is something that they do every day. Don't you want them to eat and drink as an act of worship? If you want that, you make sure that they use your right hand. Say Bismillah, at least. Then Satan will stay away from them. Once Shaitan is far away from the children, then you know your children can be very easy become righteous children. But sometimes we parents also, we don't care. Look at the saying of our Prophet ﷺ. Before that, since a person's child is from his own earning, investment, a charity that the child gives on his parent's behalf is considered as being given by the parent. Anything good done by our children is our investment. It's like we are doing it. Aisha radiallahu anha reported that a man asked our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, my mother died a sudden death. Then the person came to the Prophet and said to the Prophet, my mother died a sudden death. A lot of people die heart attack, It's a sudden death. He was there, later on gone, and did not have a chance to bequeath, to give wasiyat. Had she been able to do, I think that she would have given sadaqah. Should she or I get a reward if I give sadaqah on her behalf? The Prophet ﷺ said, Na'am, tasaddaq anha. Allahu Akbar. Yes. So give sadaqah on her behalf. Yeah, sometimes we are so busy with what we are doing, we forget to leave some wasiyat. If I die, my son, yeah, I want to give, yeah, so much to this, area, to this home, and so on. To this person who is a righteous person, they do a lot of good deeds. I want to help them. So if anything happened to me, I want to send, please donate 10,000 of my money to so and so. You forget to remind your children, because we don't know when we are going to die. But sometimes we have millions of dollars, but we forget to leave all this wasiyat, to remind our loved one what to do with our money if anything happened to me. We thought that our money is ours forever. No. We are just keeper, trustee. But a wise person, of course, is a person, when he or she has the opportunity to give, they give before it's too late. So this man asked, since my mom did not leave any wasiyat, can I do something good for her? Can I give charity on her behalf? The Prophet said, yes. And only righteous children would think, how to do something for the parent, because they know this money belongs to the parent. Now he have the right to inherit this property, but he don't think about himself. He think, but how can I do something for my parent? But if the children is not righteous, do you think they will think of that, brothers and sisters? No. This is mine. This is my right. It's up to me. I don't think about my parent anymore. But we always think about children, but they don't think of us. And sometimes you see there are cases, after the death of the parent, siblings start to fight one another. They bring you to the court sometimes because they are fighting for their what? For property, for the money. Oh, I should have this. I should have more. Even the fara'id is been laid out in the Quran. Clearly it's there already. You don't have to argue anymore. But still they will fight out of greed. And this is what happened to us. But if you leave righteous children, they will have a peace of mind. They are not going to fight because of that. Righteous children will gather together and talk. Alhamdulillah, we have our own income now, and we have a roof here for shelter. Our parents have given us everything. Now, this money left behind, I think let us together agree. Let us make use of this property left by our parents to do all the good deeds for them. Give sadaqah, waqaf here, waqaf there. Allahu Akbar. Because they don't need. They have their own income already. They have their own saving already. Because they are righteous children. They don't go for this dunya anymore and now. They just think how to do for their parent. They can't do much anymore. The parent is no more there. But at least whatever the problem leave behind in the form of property, they are going to make sure that it's being used for the sake of the parent. Allahu Akbar, brothers and sisters. This is only if you have righteous children. May Allah give us righteous children. This is the best investment, the best asset. We don't know how important, but this is the best. And to do that is not difficult. Just be very alert about their upbringing. When they grow, when they start to think differently, start to help them, overcome their doubts. You fail, send them to the right scholar so that the scholar will help them to have that kind of belief, strong belief. Then they will grow with the right iman. Then they are proud that they are being a Muslim and they being a mu'min and muttaqin. Now sometimes the children don't feel proud to be a Muslim. They feel shy. Why? Because they don't have the knowledge, the information. You may call them to pray. This is just physical. They will pray, but there's no khushu' in the prayer because they don't know. What is khushu'? They don't even understand dua iftitah. How many of us understand iftitah? Later on, I'm going to touch on this. Do you call them to fast? They fast. And sometimes they say, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. They don't feel anything more than that. Because they don't have the right knowledge. We are just introducing our children the ritual without value. It's time for us to change. Our approach, we must reinforce the value. So when they understand the value, they will value it until they die. And this is very important. This is what we are lacking. A lot of people will tell you, do this, you get so much reward. Do that. Whether there is an hadith or not, we don't even know. We don't care. Sometimes I feel so sad to hear, and there's some video clip that they send to me. Say that you have to recite this 70,000 times and all these things when a person dies. When the person dies, we only can pray for their soul. There's nothing to teach them to recite anything. Neither we should recite anything, just pray. The Prophet said, Istaghfiru li akhikum. When somebody passed away, pray, make dua, may Allah forgive their sin. Khalas. We are teaching people to do a lot of funny things. There is no basis at all in Islam. Just someone say this, someone say that. So we are someone Islam, not Islam that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to follow. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu reported that Sa'ad bin Ubadah came to the Prophet and asked him, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, oh Allah's messenger, my mother passed away while I was away on a journey. This happened to a lot of people today. We are traveling, busy with our work and so on. Then our loved one, our elders, was at home, then they passed away. Would it be of benefit to her if I give sadaqah on her behalf? Nothing to do about the property that been left behind, no. It's just that now I have extra. If I do sadaqah on her behalf, can that benefit her? They want to know. So the Prophet replied, Naam. Yes. So Sa'ad said, be my witness then that I give my fruitful date garden as sadaqah on her behalf. Not just date. It's a garden. No, they all have their own, their farm. They say, I'm going to give sadaqah this dates farm on behalf of my mother, for people to come and eat, whatever they can from their date farms. Allahu Akbar. Brothers and sisters, this is just an example to show us what happened in the time of the Prophet when the companions are very concerned about their parent. They know their parents have given them so much, but sometimes being children, we have other responsibility. We may travel, we may be busy. Suddenly our parents pass away. And these are Sahaba who love their parents, very dutiful to their parents, righteous children. But they just want to know, can I do something for them if something happened to them, especially when they pass away? The Prophet said, yes, na'am. Abu Hurairah, now another hadith, reported that a man asked the Prophet ﷺ, my father has died leaving behind wealth, a lot of money, but he did not leave behind any wasiyat. Would it help him if I give sadaqah on his behalf? The Prophet said, yes. It's his money. But only righteous people would think of how to do something for their parent. The non-righteous children, no man, it's mine. I'm just waiting for him to go. Now he's gone. So everything that been left, you know, in the time of the Prophet, they don't keep in the bank. They keep at home. Who knows how much your parent leave behind? Today you have all the money here, saving is not easy. You know, and then people will start to stop all the transaction when somebody passes away and the property is under their name colors. And you have to apply and wait, something take years. And this is also another problem. Everybody wants some share. Yeah. This institution who's running all these things want to get some share too. And that's why we have a lot of problem today, because we don't follow the Quran and Sunnah. We like to follow man-made law. And man-made law, the lawmaker always want to have some share. You know, this is something that we must be very, very careful. Is that a lawyer, a law firm, they are not here to protect the right people sometimes. The right people have nothing for you to protect if they are right. But they are there to protect the wrong people, so they get some income from them. Even they know it's wrong, they just find some loophole to say, it's okay, no problem, I can fight on behalf of you. They always money, everything is dollars and cents today. They don't have the sense of responsibility. If you are wrong, khalas, you don't have to fight. Just accept and move on. Life goes on. No. When there's no case, they can create case for you, so that they can get some income from you. Everybody today, majority of the people is trying to make money from us. Take everybody for a ride. Business people is the same. Politicians also have that problem. Take everybody for a ride. We need sincere people around us. Honest, sincere, trustworthy people. Then you have peace. Abdullah bin Amr reported that his father Amr asked the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, my father Al-As bin Wa'il, as a Sahmi, who died as a pagan, who died as a disbeliever, and he left behind some property, that 100 slaves be freed on his behalf. And part of the property that he have is slave. Slave is very, very common in that time. And he make a wasiyat that if I die, I want you to free 100 slaves. Allahu Akbar. My brother Hisham freed 50, and 50 are left. Should I free them on my father's behalf? The Prophet ﷺ said, Innahu law kana musliman aqarr bitawheed fa'aqtaftum aw tasaddaqtum aw sumtum أو حججتم أنه بلغ نفع ذلك. Allahu Akbar. But this Sahaba is asking the Prophet. He said that my father who passed away, and he have a lot of slaves, and he said that I want you to free 100 slaves on my behalf. But now he have brother who freed 50 are left. That means they did not fulfill his wasiyah. So he asked the Prophet, should I free the other 50 on behalf of my father? The Prophet replied, look at the reply from the Prophet. Had he been a Muslim who profess Allah's oneness, who have the right aqidah, tawheed, who believe in Allah, your freeing slave, giving sadaqah, fasting on his behalf, you perform hajj on his behalf, would have reached him as reward and benefit him. But because he don't have the same aqidah, he won't help him anymore. Because when there's no aqidah, there's nothing they can earn from Allah Rabbul Alamin. Yeah. Not how we forget Allah. Allah will forget us. That's why Allah said, وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَأَنسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُمْ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. Don't be like those who ignore Allah, who forget Allah. Allah will forget them, and they will forget who they are too. So if anyone of your parent who died as a Muslim, of course the Prophet said, do that. If he had fasting day that he or she missed, fast on his behalf, or you redeem his fasting day with fidya. Give sadaqah. Yeah. If you have never performed Hajj or Umrah, go and perform Hajj Badr on their behalf. It will sure reach them. All the reward will reach them. Commenting on this hadith, Shawkani rahimahullah said, this indicates that the rewards of a sadaqah from a child reach the parent after their death, even if they had not performed any wasiyah. This hadith appeared to restrict the general meaning of Allah's saying. There is a general command of Allah, وَأَلَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. In Surah Al-Najm, Surah 53, verse 39. And that the human being can only receive rewards for what he or she have earned. Of course, that is the general ayah. In general, you only will be rewarded according to what you earn when you are alive. According to the general ayah. However, there is no indication in this hadith that the sadaqah may reach the deceased from other than his own child. Since it is established that a person's child is his own earning, illa ma sa'a is your own earning, your own investment on the children, your effort, the upbringing, the sacrifice that you have made for the children, this is from you, is your earning. So you will get the reward from Allah, because this is your earning. Illa ma sa'a, illa ma sa'a. As for the sadaqah from other than the child, it is apparent from general Quran text that it does not benefit the deceased. This should then be maintained unless additional evidence can be brought to restrict it again. The question from the companion, all are talking about their parents. They are relating their parents. And the Prophet is responding to the children. You as the son. You as the son. Of course. Children is the earning from the parent. But brother and sister, please make the right choice. Don't take it lightly. Don't give excuses. I have remind them, now it's up to them. No. You have to keep on reminding them as long as you are alive. It's like now, even until today, you still remind them about all the good things. And when can you remind them about their mental needs and their spiritual needs? You still guide them. You want them to be the best children, best worker. You want them to be the best daughter, the best husband. So that you are proud, oh, my son is a good husband to his wife. Oh, my daughter, she's a very good daughter-in-law to her in-laws. You love to hear this beautiful saying from the people. I believe all of us who love our children, we love to keep on reminding them to be better, to be careful, to be healthy. I think because of this COVID-19, everybody is reminding one another, be careful where you go, be careful who you mix around, be careful of the social distance. Of course, we all remind. When you come to the worldly thing, we keep on reminding each other. How about the mental need, about the Islamic knowledge? Okay, I have conduct some religious classes at home, my children. Do your children really sit down and listen and learn? Or they are busy doing the other thing? You are there listening, but not your children. You want to know whether they are listening? Ask them. Ask them. What have you learned today, my daughter? What did the Ustad say? Just do some homework, brother and sister. When you send them to school, you check their homework. If not enough, you fail, you send them to tuition center, or you invite a tuition teacher to come and help them. But how about their spiritual needs? Do you call a scholar to come and talk to them? Heart-to-heart talk to them? Or just, as long as I do some activities, class. This is what we are saying, that we are doing things without commitment. We don't care about the input. We pray just for the sake of praying. We have classes for the sake of classes and activities. A social gathering, nothing more. We don't even change. Even ourselves are not changing. And your children is looking at you. You are learning, you are listening from the scholar. Neither you change, then how can the children change? May Allah protect us, brother and sister, and protect our children. So we end with this ayah. وَأَلَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. And that the human being can only receive rewards after they die for what he or she have earned. So any good thing that you do here, you will be rewarded accordingly. Allah is all-knowing. He knows what we have been doing. And brothers and sisters, we hope Allah Rabbul Alameen make us have the right understanding about our deen. It's time for us to change. If after Ramadan, another Ramadan, so many Ramadan, there is no changes. After Eid, we are still the old we. Something is very wrong with what we are doing. That means we don't have the right intention now to change. Whatever we are doing today is just a ritual. Fast, yes. Eid prayer, yes. After that, I'm the same guy. We want to be different. before we die, before it's too late. So brothers and sisters, remember I did quote about, have we checked? Have we asked our children, just from their prayer, what do you do? After takbiratul ihram, first the dua after wudu, the dua after azan, then now you start to pray. You know that the Prophet have taught us that when after the first takbir, whether you're praying fardu prayer or sunnah prayer, there is a recitation known as dua iftitah. Remember, brother and sister, dua iftitah is in the prayer, it's not before the prayer, it's in the prayer. If anybody is trying to say, oh, you should recite dua iftitah before takbir, then you have to ask them for evidence. If there is, alhamdulillah, to our knowledge, dua iftitah is inside the prayer, not before the prayer. This is important. If there's any other recitation, it's not wajib for you to recite. Maybe there's some sunnah for you to recite certain thing before that. But in general, whoever said there is this kind of recitation is a must for you to recite before you pray, that is not from the sunnah, through the knowledge that we know. Unless people can prove to us and it's authentic, then we can follow. There is a saying people is trying to say, before you start your prayer, you can recite dua iftitah. There are many types of dua iftitah. Allahumma ba'id baini wa baina khatayaya kama ba'ata baina al-masyriq wal maghrib, until the end one. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika wa tabaraka asmuka wa ta'ala jadduka wa la ilaha ghairuka. Second one. Allahu akbar kabira wa alhamdulillah katsira wa subhanallahi bukratan wa asila. Third one, wajjahtu wajhal ladzi fatara samawati wal ard, until the end. The fourth one, you have so many dua. They also have dua iftitah, because there are 12 different types of dua iftitah. All this is be recited when you perform the takbiratul ihram in the prayer, not before the prayer. Like Allahumma rabbal jibra'il wa miqa'il wa israfil fatir samawati wal ard alimul ghaibi wa shahada anta tahkumu baina ibadika fima kanu fihi yakhtalifun. Yeah. And then we say ihdini lima tulifa fihi min al-haq bi'iznik innaka tahdi man tasha ila siratum. This is also dua iftitah. But remember, when you say dua iftitah, mean when you are in the prayer. After you make takbir, Allahu Akbar, then dua iftitah comes in. Whether you are performing fardu prayer, sunnah prayer, the Prophet never missed this dua iftitah. You can choose among the 12. But recite it when you are in the prayer, not before. We hope we will have the right understanding. But if we are confused until today, something is very wrong with our foundation. We have been praying for years in, year out. Are you telling us that we still don't know what we are doing? We still entertain what people say, when the Prophet had made it very clear thousands over years ago. There's no more confusion about this. But if we Muslims who are learning how to pray are still confused, something is very wrong with our knowledge. If you allow yourself to entertain what people want you to do, please, brother and sister, seek Allah's protection. This is all the fitna in the religion. Like we are so ignorant, we don't know in what to recite. Yeah? Whether there is a recitation of dua iftitah before prayer. There is no reciting of dua iftitah before the prayer. Dua iftitah, everything you talk about dua iftitah in the prayer is in the prayer, not before the prayer. May Allah guide all of us, brothers. Like I say, if you don't want to follow the Quran and Sunnah Anybody can create confusion to you. And we also get confused because we don't have a strong foundation. And that is why the Prophet took 13 years to reinforce the foundation. But we, the people today, very impatient. They want to have this knowledge, that knowledge, this knowledge, listen to this scholar, that scholar. When the foundation is so weak, and you get more confused from time to time. And if we are confused, brother and sister, we are learning and we get confused. What do you think about those who are not learning? They get more confused. So sometimes they give an excuse, because of this confusion, I don't want to learn. To be more confused, I just want to stay away. And they go further and further from the truth. So this is very important. If anybody who has been following our class, all the hadiths have been shown to all of you, and you still get confused because of hearsay. And that is the beginning of your confusion, because you entertain hearsay without dalil. If hearsay with dalil, alhamdulillah, is another knowledge. But without dalil, and this is where the fitna and this is where the confusion comes in. And Allah have made it very clear. وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ إِذَا قَضَى اللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَمْرًا أَنْ يَكُونَ لَهُمْ خِيَرَةٌ مِنْ أَمْرِهِمْ وَمَا يَعْصِ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ فَقَدْ ضَلَّ ضَلَالًا مُبِينًا. It's not what I said, brothers and sisters. Surah Al-Ahzab, you can read. It's what Allah warned us 1,400 over years ago. It is not right. It is wrong for any believing male and female, when Allah and the Prophet decide something for you to follow, the guidance is there, the evidence is there, you still give excuses. No, but the scholar say this, but the imam say this. What is this, brother and sister? Is this religion belong to me, you, to belong to the scholar? It belong to Allah. Anything to do with ibadah mahda, this khususiyah ibadah, prayer, all the askar, everything have been taught by the Prophet. Nothing that is from the Prophet, stay away. Is that difficult? Whoever opposes, remember the ayat I recite earlier, whoever opposes the teaching of the Messenger of Allah and do not follow the way of the righteous believer, that means he has turned astray. He chose the wrong path. Remember, brother and sister, when we die, this scholar is not there to help us. And you cannot say, oh Allah, he is the one who have turned me astray. Punish him, double. Allah is fair. He did not call you to follow. He just shared with you some knowledge. And because he is callous, he don't have any dalil on what he said, because he hears it and then he believes. But what Allah said, you still don't believe. That is very strange. When people say something, you want to believe so fast. When Allah said something and the Prophet have made it clear, you don't want to believe. I just don't understand, brother and sister. I just don't understand how we can react and behave in that manner. May Allah guide us. May Allah forgive all of us. And we are going for the Q&A. Brothers and sisters, we hope that we all will have some time to make dua for Siti Hajar Alwi and her husband Karim Zangkai from Shanghai, China. Her husband is a Chinese Muslim, is in ICU or ventilator. She's not well too. Hajar used to be a volunteer at Al-Qadim, but now live in Johor since she got married. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of them a fast recovery, strengthen their iman. We know that when somebody is not well, we always say, La baqs inshaAllah tuhur. Allah is purifying our sin when we are pleased with what Allah have ordained upon us and have patience. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them a fast recovery and strengthen their iman, increase their health, and give all of them a good ending. Ameen. It's our duty when we heard somebody is not well to pray for them. And also our duty when we heard somebody pass away to say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, and ask Allah to forgive their sin. So may Allah also strengthen the iman and increase their patience, especially Hajar. Yeah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of them. Ameen. To all the good brothers and sisters, I hope all of you who have not been able to attend our classes, we have ongoing live stream classes, reminder. But sometimes we are not alert about what we have been doing. But please remember, if those who have received our bulletin, behind the bulletin, you can get all the information and you can just register yourself here in the AKY media to get all the broadcasting. And you know that every Wednesday morning, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, we have our ongoing class live. And when in the Ramadan, every night Instagram at 10:30 p.m. we have all this ongoing reminder. But for those who are not alert, please remember this information has been shared to all of us for years about our ongoing classes. We know that we tend to forget, but anytime you feel that you forget something, quickly communicate with our media team, then you'll get all the information. On behalf of Sita Hajar, are we okay? Somebody just got message, Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah, from India, that one of my nephew and classmate just passed away last night. Please dua for him. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Allahumma ighfir lahuma warhamhuma wa'afihima wa'fu anhuma. May Allah forgive both of them, the nephew and classmate of one of the brother, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make them be among the righteous people. Ameen. Assalamu'alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, this is a sister who is now in together with her daughter and the children in California. We hope that inshaAllah we will be united here or in Akhirah or when we perform Hajj or Umrah. I'm reading a book called Fundamental of Islam by Sheikh Sulaiman Tamimi. But it seems like everyone is born Muslim without knowledge, can't put anything into action. So knowledgeable. Without knowledge, can't put anything into action. So knowledgeable. Yep. Everyone is born clean. Kullu mawlid yulad ala fitra is what the Prophet said. Of course, then before you do anything, of course, everything that we do must be based on knowledge. It's not just follow tradition. Tradition is not a knowledge, it's just a norm. Knowledge means something that Allah revealed to the Prophet. So true knowledge is what Allah said, what the Prophet said. Other than that, it's just culture, tradition. Anything that do not contradict the Quran and Sunnah, carry on. Anything that is contradict, then that is not considered as knowledge anymore. But the interesting part about this hadith, kullu mawlid yulad ala fitra fa'abawahu yuhawidanihi aw yunassiranihi aw yumajjisan. It's so true. Every child is born pure and clean. It's up to us, not the parent. How is your upbringing? If you want the children to be righteous, you start to be righteous first, so that when they grow and they see you as an example, it's easy for them to follow. But if we are not showing good example, we only want them to be righteous and we are not righteous. Not say it's not impossible if Allah's will, but it is not easy. Yeah. If you want to make life easy for your children, we start to make changes. We start to behave. We start to be a good practicing Muslim. Yeah. If not, you'll see what is going to happen. They are your children, but now they grow up with different kind of thinking. They will think like a Yahud or Nasara or a Majus, but your children. Our children, Muslim children, but their mind have been corrupted by other ideologies. Whose fault? You want to blame them 100%? It's your fault, my fault, because we don't care. We care about their dunya knowledge. We don't care about their knowledge of akhirah. We care about their worldly affairs. We want to see them successful in this world. We don't care about their success in the hereafter. You will see, if you still behave like what you behave today, I don't care. I have reminded them enough. I am going to say it to all of us. We have failed ourselves. By failing them, we have failed ourselves. And a lot of husbands today have betrayed the amanah given by Allah to them. When you married a woman, you are taking her away from her parent as an amanah, a trust woman. If you fail to make them righteous wife because you don't care about their aura, they expose their aura in front of so many non-mahram, and you are not feeling anything, you feel it's normal, something is very, very wrong with your iman. The iman of the believer, if you see something wrong and you have the authority, you change with your hand. If you can't, you have the means to speak up, you have to say something. At least your heart dislikes what she is doing. But if you are so comfortable with what they are doing that is against Islam, no big deal. You're happy, you give us good smile. Something is wrong with your iman. May Allah protect us. Be a man who are responsible to Allah Rabbul Alameen, who take good care of the amanah from Allah. you can save your wife. You can save. Allahu Akbar. So brothers and sisters, until we meet again, please don't forget to make prayer for all the brothers and sisters who ask us to pray for them, not only now, anytime when you are after your fardu prayer, you can just keep on praying for the Muslims wherever they are. And may Allah accept our deeds, and may Allah help us to grab the opportunity of Shawwal. That is the past 6 days of Shawwal, to get the maximum reward of 1 year fasting. Amin ya Rabbal Alamin. Wabillahi tawfiqi wa aqri da'wana walhamdulillahi alamin. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.